Hello aspirants, welcome to Connect IS. Today we are again back with one more topic, that is Ashokan edicts. This video is going to be a bit longer, but the more the video, the more the information, the more the gain that you get. So please watch the video till the end. So let's get started. This is one of the topic from the UPSC PRELIMS 2022. So we'll look into Ashokan edicts, Ashoka's inscriptions, history, and then major rock edicts, minor rock edicts, pillar edicts, minor pillar edicts, and other important edicts, and Ashoka's inscription except. So let's get started with the question from UPSC Prelims 2022. So it is given the major rock edicts and the location, and we need to guess which one is the correct matching of the rock edict and the location. So here it is given as Dauli, Odisha, Erragudi, Andhra Pradesh, Ravgada, Madhya Pradesh, Kalsi, Karnataka. So we need to check which pair is the correctly matched. So let's get started. We'll look into the concept first, then we'll try to solve the question. So Ashoka. As we are stating about Ashokan edicts, first we'll have a short introduction about Ashoka. He is third monarch of the Maurya dynasty, and his reign is from 268 BC to 232 BC. He converted to Buddhism after witnessing the horrific effects of war in Kalinga. After the Kalinga War, he converted to Buddhism. So this is short introduction about Ashoka. So our main focus is on inscriptions, Ashoka's edicts. So let's get started with Ashoka's inscriptions. Basically, there are total 33 inscriptions, and these Ashoka inscriptions are the first tangible evidence of Buddhism. ఇవే ఫస్ట్ టాంజిబుల్ ఎవిడెన్స్ బుద్ధిజం ఉన్నది అని చెప్పడానికి. నెక్స్ట్ అవి ఎలా సెగ్రిగేట్ చేశారంటే దే వర్ సెగ్రిగేటెడ్ ఇంటూ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్ మేజర్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్, మైనర్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్, సపరేట్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ అండ్ మేజర్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్, మైనర్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్. బేసిక్గా రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ అండ్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ రెండుగా విభజించారు. రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్లో మేజర్ ఉన్నాయి, మైనర్ ఉన్నాయి, సపరేట్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ కళింగ ఉన్నాయి, అండ్ మైనర్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్లో మేజర్ పిల్లర్ అండ్ మైనర్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ అనేవి ఉన్నాయి. సో మేజర్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్లో ఆర్ 14 ఇన్ 8 ప్లేసెస్. 14 మేజర్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయంటే 8 ప్లేసెస్లో ఉన్నాయి. మైనర్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ 15 రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి మైనర్, అండ్ అవి 4 ప్లేసెస్లో ఉన్నాయి. నెక్స్ట్ సపరేట్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ కళింగలో ఉన్నాయి, అవి 2, and major pillar edicts are 7 and minor are 5. So the language that are used in inscription is Prakrit. Most of the inscriptions were in Prakrit, and most of the Prakrit inscriptions were in Brahmi script. And other languages are Aramaic, Greek. ఇవన్నీ కూడా కొన్నిట్లో యూస్ చేశారు, బట్ మోస్ట్లీ ప్రాకృత్. ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఇన్ ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ వర్ ఇన్ గ్రీక్ అండ్ అరమైక్. ఈ రెండు ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ ఉన్న ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్స్ని ఈ రెండు లాంగ్వేజ్లో రాశారు. కందహార్ రాక్ ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఈజ్ బైలింగ్వల్, గ్రీక్ అండ్ అరమైక్. సో బేసిక్గా కందహార్, ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ వీటిల్లో గ్రీక్ అండ్ అరమైక్ లాంగ్వేజ్ యూస్ చేశారు. అదర్ దాన్ దిస్ ప్రాకృత్ లాంగ్వేజ్ వాజ్ యూస్డ్, and most of the Prakrit inscriptions were in Brahmi script. That is all about the Ashoka's inscriptions. That is major rock edicts and pillar edicts. Rock edicts are subdivided into major, minor, and separate rock edicts. That is Kalinga, and pillar edicts are like major and minor. The language that is used is Prakrit, mostly Prakrit, but Aramaic and Greek as well. Fact about Ashoka's inscription is that in Ashoka edicts, the emperor refers himself as Devanpiya Priyadasi, which means beloved to God. He himself portrayed himself as Devanpiya Priyadasi, which means beloved to God. They were mostly placed on ancient highways, పెట్టేవాళ్ళనంటే ఇవి ఎక్కడున్నాయంటే ఏన్షియంట్ హైవేస్కి దగ్గరలో ఉన్నాయి ఇవి. మేబీ వన్ ఆఫ్ ది స్ట్రాటజీ like where will be traveling all around the world will be looking at those inscriptions. One of the reason why they placed in the ancient highways. So as we have seen the Ashoka's inscriptions, their number, the major, minor, the language used. So let's get into the major rock edicts. So in major rock edicts, as we have seen, there are 14 in number in 8 places. ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఉన్నాయంటే లొకేషన్స్ వచ్చేసి Mahanshera, that is in Hazara, Pakistan, and Shahbaz Garhi in Peshawar, Pakistan. ఈ రెండు కూడా పాకిస్తాన్ ఉన్నాయి. రెస్ట్ 6 are in India. That is Halsi, Uttarakhand, Junagadh, Gujarat, Sopara, Maharashtra, Yerragudi, Andhra Pradesh, Dhauli, Odisha, Jawgada, Odisha. బేసిక్గా ఒడిశాలో 2, ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లో 1, మహారాష్ట్రలో 1, గుజరాత్ అండ్ ఉత్తరాఖండ్లో 1. కలిసి ఒకసారి వేసేద్దాం. కలిసి ఉత్తరాఖండ్, జునాగఢ్ గుజరాత్, సోపర మహారాష్ట్ర, ఎర్రగుడి ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్, ధౌలి ఒడిస్సా, జావగడ ఒడిస్సా. సో గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవడం కొంచెం కష్టం, బట్ ట్రై చేస్తే ఈజీనే. We'll get into the tricks to remember them at last. So let's look at each one. So first inscription. There are 14 inscriptions now. So let's look into the 14 inscription one by one. So first inscription was prohibition of animal sacrifice. Second inscription law, medical treatment of humans and animals, planting of fruits, medicinal herbs, and digging of wells. Mentions the Pandyas, Satpuras, and Kerala Putras of South India. Well, next, third one is about generosity to Brahmins, about Yuktas, Pradeshikas, and Rajakas, who would go every 5 years to different parts of his empire to spread Dhamma. It is fourth one, Dhamma Gosha, sounds of Dhamma, righteousness over Bheri Gosha, sound of war. Fourth one deals about the sound of Dhamma, Dhamma Gosha over Bheri Gosha. Fifth one, about Dhamma Mahatas, talks about treating slaves right. A special cadre of officials, Dhammagosha, were appointed and entrusted with the duty of spreading Dhamma within the kingdom. Sixth, kings desired to know about his people's condition. Seventh, tolerance towards religion among all sects and welfare measures for the public. And eighth, Ashoka's first visit to Bodh Gaya and Bodhi. Ninth, condemns popular ceremonies and stresses on moral conduct. 10th, condemns the desire for fame and glory. 11th, elaborate explanation of Dhamma, respect for elders, etc. 12th, appeal for developing tolerance towards all religious sects. 13th, explains about Kalinga war and conquest through Dhamma. 14th, deal with purpose of engraving inscriptions in various parts of the country. So these are the 14 major rock edicts. Let's revise once again. So basically there are in 8 locations, 2 are in Pakistan and the rest 6 are in India. Leaving Pakistan, the 6 are 2 in Odisha, 1 is Andhra Pradesh, 1 in Maharashtra, 1 in Gujarat and 1 in Uttarakhand. So it seems that from north to south he spread the Buddhism. So Kalsi, Uttarakhand, Junagadh, Gujarat, Sopara, Maharashtra, Yerragudi, Andhra Pradesh, Dhauli and Juagada in Odisha. So the rock edicts are, first one is on animal sacrifice, prohibition of animal sacrifice. Next, second one is medical treatment of humans, planting of fruits, medicinal herbs, digging of wells, and third one is generosity of Brahmins about yuktas, pradeshikas, rajakas, about their spreading the dharma in different parts of his empire. And fourth one is Dhammagosha over Gosha. Fifth one is about Dharma Mahatras, talks about treating slaves right. Sixth one is about king's desire to know about people's conditions. Seventh one is about tolerance towards religious among all sects and welfare measures. Eighth one is Ashoka's first visit to Bodh Gaya. Ninth one condemns popular ceremonies and stresses on moral conduct. Tenth one is condemns the desire for fame and glory. 11th one is elaborate explanation of Dhamma, respect for elders, etc. 12th one is appeal for developing tolerance towards all religious sects. 13th one explains about Kalinga War and conquest through Dhamma. 14th one deals with purpose of engraving inscriptions in various parts of the country. So basically, in a nutshell, in the 14 inscription, in the major rock inscriptions, Emperor Ashoka has given the principles of Dharma, like condemning the fame and desire for fame and glory, stressing on moral conduct, and developing tolerance towards all the religious sects, respecting elders, treating the slaves equally, and for the kings to know about the people's conditions and desires. And he also told about planting fruits, uh, medical things as well, like medical treatments to humans and animals, planting fruits, medicinal herbs, and digging of wells, and the prohibition of animal sacrifice. Everything about Dharma was taught by Ashoka through this major rock inscriptions. So this is about major rock edicts. So let's get to know about minor rock edicts. So basically there are 15 in number, but in four places. That is in Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh. That is Maski, Karnataka, Brahmagiri, Karnataka, and Gujjara, Madhya Pradesh, and Nettur, Andhra Pradesh. Only at these four places, Ashoka has used his name. In all other places, he used his title Devanya Priyadasi. We have studied earlier about this. That is beloved to God. దేవాన్మయ వేదాసి అంటే బిలవ్ టు గాడ్ అని. బట్ ఓన్లీ ఈ నాలుగు ప్లేసెస్లో మాత్రమే అశోకుడు తన పేరును వాడారు. సో ఫోర్ ప్లేసెస్ ఆర్ మస్కీ కర్ణాటక, బ్రహ్మగిరి కర్ణాటక, గుజ్జార మధ్యప్రదేశ్, అండ్ నెట్టూర్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద మైనర్ rock edicts. Important is the major rock edicts. Minor rock edicts is four places important, and this thing, the major chunk is he has used his name Ashoka in these four places in these minor rock edicts, but rest of all he used his title Devanmaya Piyadasi. Let's look at the pillar edicts. So major pillar edicts, we have seen that there are seven in number. So let's look at one by one. First pillar edict, Ashoka's principle of protecting his people. Second one defines Dhamma as minimum of sins, many virtues, compassion, liberty, truthfulness, and purity. Third one avoiding practices of cruelty, sin, harshness, pride, and anger among his subjects. Fourth one responsibilities of Rajukas. Fifth list of animals and birds that should not be killed on certain days. And also another list mentions animal that should never be killed, and also known as Delhi Topra Pillar Edict. Fifth one, Delhi is also known as Delhi Topra pillar edict. And sixth, Dhamma policy of the state. And seventh, Ashoka's work for fulfilling Dhamma, tolerance for all sects, Dhamma Mahamatas. So these are the seven major pillar edicts. So let's revise once again. So first one, protecting people, principle of protecting the people. Second one, defines Dhamma as minimum of sins. And third one is avoiding practices of cruelty. Fourth one is responsibilities of Rajakas. Fifth one is about list of animals that shouldn't be killed and that shouldn't be killed on certain days, and another list on that shouldn't be not at all killed. And this is also known as Delhi Topra Pillar Edict. And sixth one, Dhamma policy of the state, that is welfare of the state. And seventh one, Ashoka's work for fulfilling Dhamma, tolerance for all sects, and Dhamma Mahamatas. These are the major pillar edicts. And minor, they have been found from different places like Kandahar in Afghanistan, Khyber, Pakistan, Delhi, Vaishali, and Champaram in Bihar, Sarnath and Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh, Amravati in Andhra Pradesh, and Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh. These are the minor pillar edicts. Nothing great to know about these minor pillar edicts. These are the major pillar edicts. So important things are major pillar edicts and major rock edicts. So in rock edicts, he talked totally about dharma, all the principles of dharma, how we should be, the medicinal uh, uses, medical treatments to humans and animals, digging of wells, planting plants, etc. In pillar edicts, he talked about list of animals and birds that shouldn't be killed on specific days, and some on shouldn't be killed at all, and defines dhamma, and he talked about avoiding the practices of cruelty and principles about protecting the people, and responsibilities for Rajakas, and Dhamma policy of the state, that is welfare of the state, and Ashoka's work for fulfilling Dhamma. The seventh one, the last one. రాకెటిక్స్ లో కూడా 14th వన్ లాస్ట్ దాంట్లో రాకెటిక్స్ ఎందుకు చేశారనే చెప్పారు. సెవెంత్ పిల్లడిక్స్ లోనేమో సెవెంత్ దాంట్లో లాస్ట్ దాంట్లో అశోకస్ వర్క్ ఫర్ ఫుల్ఫిల్లింగ్ ధర్మ అనే దాని గురించి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ అండ్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్. సో ఇన్ మైనర్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ 4 అని చూసాము ఇక్కడ. సో ఆ మైనర్ పిల్లర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ ఏంటంటే the schism edict, warning of punishment for dissent in Sangha. Second one, the Queen's edict. Ashoka announces that the gifts to queens should be credited. And the third one is Ashoka's dedication to increase height of Kanakamanu Buddha. And the fourth one is Ashoka's visit to Lumbini, birthplace of Buddha. These are the four minor pillar edicts. Nothing much important, but the schism edicts, the queen edicts are important. Schism edicts, warning of punishment for dissent in Sangha, and the queen edicts, Ashoka announces that the gifts to queen should be credited. And fourth one is increasing the height of Kankamanu Buddha. And fourth one, he talked about visiting to Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha. These are the minor pillar edicts. So we have seen the pillar edicts. We'll look into the other important edicts. There are some of the important edicts. Let's look into them. They are Kandahar inscription, Kalinga edicts, Sannati inscription, which is in Karnataka, Rumindai inscription in Nepal, Girnar rock inscription or Rudradaman in Kathiawar, and important one is the minor rock edict 1 and minor rock edict 3. We'll talk about these two important things. Let's start one by one. So Kandahar inscription, Afghanistan, that is famous bilingual edict in Greek and Aramaic. We have already seen first. Kalinga edict. In Kalinga, we have seen that other important rock edicts lo rendu ఉన్నాయని చూసాం Kalinga. So they are Tauli or Tosali in Odisha and Juagada in Odisha. So major rock edicts లో కూడా జువాగడలో ఉంది అండ్ ధౌలిలో ఉంది. సేమ్ కళింగ edicts రెండు ఒడిశాలో ఉన్నాయి. ధౌలి in Odisha and Juagada in Odisha. In this Kalinga edicts, a new system of administration after the Kalinga War was discussed and mentions all men are my children. He mentioned that in Kalinga edict, he mentioned that all men are my children. And also said about a new system of administration. Yes, Kalinga. This Kalinga edicts are important. That is both are in Odisha, that is Daula and Juagada in Odisha. Talked about new administration and mentioned that all men are my children. Next, Sannati inscription in Karnataka. Site of all 14 major rock edicts as well as two separate Kalinga edicts. In Sannati inscription, అన్ని మేజర్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ అండ్ కళింగ ఎడిక్ట్స్ అన్ని కూడా ఒక దగ్గర చూపించారు. అది సన్నతి ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ ఇన్ కర్ణాటక. నెక్స్ట్ Luminde inscription in Nepal mentions that village of Lumbini be exempted from Bali and was to pay only 1/8 of the Baga. So in Luminde inscription in Nepal mentions that the village of Lumbini be exempted from Bali and was to pay only 1/8 of the Baga. Next, Girnar rock inscription of Rudradaman, Kathiawar, mentions that Sudarshan Lake, constructed by Pushyagupta, a Rashtriya of Saurashtra during Chandragupta Maurya's reign, mentions about the construction Sudarshan Lake, construction of Sudarshan Lake by Pushyagupta, a Rashtriya of Saurashtra during Chandragupta Maurya reign. Next, which is Minor Rock Edict and Minor Rock Edict 1 and Minor Rock Edict 3. Minor Rock Edict is in Babru, Bhairath, Rajasthan, indicates that Ashoka turned towards Buddhism gradually after 2.5 years in power. And Minor Rock Edict 3, Ashoka greets Sangha, professes his deep faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, recommends 6 Buddhist texts for monks, nuns, and general laity. So this is Minor Rock Edict 1 and Minor Rock Edict 3. Rock Edict 1 in Rajasthan, Babru Bhairath, Rajasthan. He talked about indicates that Ashoka turned towards Buddhism after 2.5 years in power, and Rock Edict 3 tells us about Ashoka greets Sangha, professes his deep faith in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and recommends 6 Buddhist texts for monks, nuns, and general laity. So this is important. Minor Rock Edict 1, Rock Edict 3, and Kalinga edicts and Sannati inscription. These are important. Thing is important and other important edicts. కళింగ ఎడిక్ట్స్ లోనేమో అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ గురించి చెప్పారు అండ్ ఆల్ మెన్ ఆర్ మై చిల్డ్రన్ అని మెన్షన్ చేశారు. సన్నతి ఇన్స్క్రిప్షన్ లో కళింగ ఎడిక్ట్స్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ ఆల్ ద మేజర్ రాక్ ఎడిక్ట్స్ వర్ ఈజ్ ఎ సైట్ ఫర్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఇన్ వన్ ప్లేస్. అండ్ రుమిన్ దేవిలో టాక్డ్ అబౌట్ exemption of Lumbini from Bali, and in Girnar rock inscription mentions about construction of Sudarshan Lake. In Minor Rock Edict 1 indicates about his turning towards Buddhism after 2.5 years of power, and Minor Rock Edict 3 talks about Ashoka greeting Sangha, professes deep faith in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and recommends 6 Buddhist texts for monks, nuns, and general. This is important. Minor Rock Edict 3 recommends 6 Buddhist texts for monks, nuns, and general laity. These are all the important edicts. And Kandahar, it was 2 languages are used: Greek and bilingual, Greek and Aramaic. So till now we have seen all the major rock edicts, minor rock edicts, pillar edicts, major pillar edicts 7 and minor rock edicts 4, and also some of the other important edicts, that is Kandahar, Kalinga, Sanniti, Rumindei, and Girnar, and Major Rocket, sorry, Minor Rocket 1 and Minor Rocket 3. Now let's look into the Ashoka's inscription except. Beloved of God speaks to us. 12 years after my coronation, I started to have Dhamma edicts written for the welfare and happiness of the people, and so that not transgressing them, they might grow in the Dhamma. Thinking, how can the welfare and happiness of the people be secured? I give my attention to my relatives, to those dwelling for, so so I can lead them to happiness, and then I act accordingly. I do the same for all the groups. I have honored all religions with various honors, but I consider it best to meet with people personally. This is the Ashoka's inscription excerpt. So this can be used in mains, but not for the prelims. But holistically, we have covered it, the Ashoka inscription for both the prelims and the main perspective as well. So this is all about the Ashoka edicts. So let's get back to the question. That is the major rock edicts, Daula and their location. Daula, Odisha. Is it correct? Yes. Erragudi, Andhra Pradesh. Yes, correct. Jogada, Madhya Pradesh. Kalsi, Karnataka. No. So only two places are correct. So let's. Kalsi is in Uttarakhand and Jogada in Gujarat. So these two are not correct. So only first two are correct. So this is all about Ashokan edicts. We'll be back with one more interesting topic from the previous year's questions. To get more and more about UPSC preparation through mind maps, please like, share, and subscribe.